One SAT problem for a day. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be dealing these type of questions, which will sometimes be challenging for some students when they're dealing with the SAT problems. Especially happens in the end of the math sections, which will be like the harder questions definitely compared to the previous ones. So I'm gonna dealing with these problems with you in this video. I'm gonna teach you a very easy way to doing this and help you do not miss your points when you're doing the SAT math sections. Okay, so let's dive deep into it. So it says it first given you f of x functions, and then it says the function g is defined by g of x is equal to f of x plus 5. For what value of x does g of x reach its minimum? So for this type of questions, when we take a first glance at this function that given to us, we can know that this is a quadratic equation. So for a quadratic equation, that quadratic function, we're gonna change it like ultimately into this formatting. So when we're dealing with this type of questions, like it's asking us for the minimum. So thinking about that, what's the minimum value for the inner part of this can be? Well, you may say it can be negative. Well, it cannot because it's squared. So if it's squared outside, then the minimum value it can get will only be 0. So what we're really trying to find is the x-intercept of this. So what value? It's not at x-intercept actually, but it's what values that make the inner part become 0. And the minimum value for this will be like minimum value for the whole function will just be k, which also the y-intercept for this. So in order to make this happen, we have to do some alternations for this. So let's just plug in these numbers into everywhere that x occurs, so we can get a new function which is looking like this. Okay, and this will be our g of x, and then expand these. And then plug in 4 into everywhere of this parenthesis. And then just clear that out a little bit. Okay, then we reach this step. Okay, so if you got into this step, then you're basically complete 50% of this question already. But a lot of people stuck in this step because they're like kind of confused and struggling how to make this turn into this formatting. So a really helpful, a really easy way for this will just be taking the 4 out, like of the first 2 terms, okay? Because it's much more convenient for our future calculations. And so basically we're doing like the kind of like completing the square, but it's not really completing the square, but we're also like trying to do some things that make the inner part becomes a squared formatting. So, So we're gonna plug in some values inside here to get these cancel each other's, but also make a square, like in this form. So what values can we plug in? Well, it's 26 divided by 2 will be 13, and 13 squared will be 169. So then this will be 169. Okay, and then we can just change the inside to this, and then minus 169 plus 682. And then we can take substitute like 4 into these 2 terms, which will given us this. and then g of x will be 4 times x plus 13 to the squared plus 6, because negative 4 times 169 plus 682 will give us 6 ultimately. So okay, so take a look at this. We make it, right? We make the formatting looks like this. And then what I just like what I said before, the minimum value for this, we're gonna make the inner part for this equal to 0. So what makes the inner part equal to 0? Well, when x is equal to negative 13, right? So then it gives you our ultimate answer, which will be A for this problem. And when you're dealing this type of questions, just remember to change the formatting of this question. And when you're doing it, you're gonna definitely apply some like completing squares kind of thoughts, and kind of like substitute the numbers into the parentheses and given us like the values of, and it will all the way leads you to the ultimate answer. And so for this questions, like it's not very hard, but it's tricky. Like you have to think about it a little bit. It's not very straightforward. So thank you so much for watching my videos. I hope it helps. Also hope you have a nice day. I'll see you next time.